Hello, TJC peers. Oh my gosh, Colleen here with the Just Colleen Podcast. This is a special episode on gratitude, keeping your chin up when faced with adversity. So much has happened in the past few weeks, and thank you so much for hanging in there with me. As most of you are aware, at this time, TJCP and VObyColleen have been removed from Facebook due to a breach. So you can find me on YouTube and other platforms. Also, there has been no internet nor cellular service here for 2 weeks. For any clients wishing to book a coaching session with me, please be patient as your session will be rescheduled. Sending out healing vibes to all those affected by the devastating weather that's taken place. Asking for all TJCP followers and subscribers to send out additional healing vibes to some wonderful young women, Tammy and Danny, who were both in separate horrific vehicle accidents. Another ask is for a dear friend, Deb, aka Angel, who was recently placed on a waiting list for a double lung transplant. Please find Angel's fundraising info and link at VObyColleen.com. All right, here we go. So how do I overcome adversity? Most of you who have followed me since the beginning of my podcast in 2020 know that I work and I travel in my 36-foot motorhome, and I have faced so many situations since I began this journey. During the recent storms, the grounds retained so much rain that my motorhome sunk into the ground. Here I am. I'm in a new lot, a new place, very rural, small town, and only one other person is actually at this campground presently. It was still raining and afraid I was going to sink deeper. Already sunk to the point where my portable wagon and my surplus propane tank were stuck underneath the back of my rig. I was thankfully able to pull the propane tank out from the mud, but the wagon, that was trash and stuck. Tried to rock the rig out of the mud using my tire grids, but no luck. So I had to call the campground manager, who came out with his brother-in-law, and they were even unsuccessful in being able to pull me out with their truck, who they then called their uncle down the road, who has a tractor, and he was able to gratefully pull me out and was guided to a new lot with gravel. They asked for nothing in return but to see me safe. Now, wow. Okay, isn't this how life is supposed to be? To just help others without expecting anything in return, yet to perhaps maybe pay it forward. So on the flip side of the most recent events, I took part in a remote part-time position with an amazing company. I completed all the platform training and was all ready to start my first day. I was so grateful to have a few days off just to kind of clean up all the muddy mess before I started on day one. However, since the commencement of the inclement weather, there had been no cell or internet signal. I'm talking, I was in SOS status the whole time. I used an alternate week signal through another service for my means of communication for email and internet, letting my mentors know what was happening. Then, too inevitably, I missed my first day of my first remote position. So disappointing for both them and myself. I had a plan and I have a goal. This new position is to assist me in achieving that goal prior to the upcoming winter season and before the end of the year. All right, so what now? Internet service just came back. And through all this, remaining lighthearted, knowing everything happens for a reason, yet still shaking my head in disbelief and disappointment. So how do we get past this conundrum? Well, first off, let your emotions flow. Go ahead, get angry, cry, scream if you need to. Just don't direct it to anyone, and do it on your own personal time. When you get all of that off your chest, then take a step back and ask yourself, was this something that you could have avoided? Well, if the answer is yes, then this is your lesson to see what you can do differently if the occasion was possibly to arise again. make sure you journal what happened and how it made you feel. This way you have something to reflect on. If the answer is no, then ask yourself, what can I do to be patient and understanding with the situation? How will you move forward? Perhaps do some cleaning, take a long walk, keep yourself occupied just until the situation clears. In my current situation explained earlier, it came out to be both a yes and a no. Maybe I could have watched the weather closer, anticipating the heavy rains and my current RV spot, and moved sooner to a new spot, a more secure spot. Yet with the cell and the internet, well, when I came here, I had 5G ultra good service up until the tower went down. I stayed on top of the status daily and continued to communicate with my mentors. Yes, perhaps I could change services to one that would work more consistently for this local area, as I'll probably be within this proximity to this location for the next few months. Yet, is that going to solve the issue long term? This is perplexing, right? Okay. Keeping myself busy and journaling and remaining on top of the situations at hand in the present moment is how I keep it all in check. Do I still feel disappointed? Of course. But as the song by the band Foreigner goes, that was yesterday. This is today. This is now. Yesterday is done and gone. And when the issues and situations seem to drain into each and every one of the following days, then maybe do something a bit different. Maybe even alter your perspective on what is happening and where you are going. Do you remember the movie Groundhog Day? Kept doing the same thing over and over again. And then he learned to kind of change his perspective for each and every single day he woke up, right? I hope this brought you a bit of insight and feeling better to face another day, to not let life get you down. We can get through this with a little PMA, positive mental attitude, and gratitude. If you or your family are facing severe hardship at this time of post-devastating weather, I implore you, please reach out to friends and family who may be able to help. Don't feel ashamed. Don't feel afraid, no matter what the situation. Heads up, if your pet or pets were left behind, reach out to Greater Good Charities or the Humane Society of America. They are doing their very best to relocate pets found in these locations to safer locations. Also, please keep your microchip information updated. This way they can locate you appropriately. We have some fabulous guests and episodes coming up on remote work, emotions, keeping yourself in check. So hit that subscribe and notification button. Leave your comments below. All comments are read and responded to. Thank you so much for tuning back into another episode of the Just Colleen Podcast. Don't let life get you down. Again, please check out the info for Angels Charity Fundraiser. Keep sending out those good vibes and keep being the amazing you. Most of all, have a fantabulous day.